Welcome to Dwire Field here in Mason, Ohio. I'm Andrew Little here with Braden Blows, and we've got some GMC sports action for you as the Mason Comets are taking on the Oak Hills Highlanders. And Oak Hills off to a great start to the year, 2-0. That's as many wins as they've had in the past 3 seasons combined. A really promising year with the new coaching staff. Now, Braden, what can you tell us about their star quarterback?
Oak Hills offense is led by senior Jack Schreiber. Third in GMC in pass yards with 340, and a lot of their success in offense has been because of him. 51 points in their first 2 games. Not too bad for the start of the season.
Absolutely. Jackson Schreiber has been one of the more electric players in the conference so far, both as a passing and rushing threat, but this Comets defense has been fantastic throughout the season, throughout the beginning of the season, only giving up 2 touchdowns so far. And they're led by senior Jake Bates, currently leading the GMC in tackles.
You see the other guys on the field too. Sean Krukenberg, a linebacker, and Stephen McAlvin, a defensive back, junior. A lot of guys contributing to his defense. Definitely more experienced part of the team out here. But overall, both sides of the ball, they've been playing pretty well this season.
Yeah, the Comets really been relying on their defense this season. And they're going to meet a match this week with Oak Hills. They're playing pretty well. The Comets special teams gets ready. And the Comets last week got their first win of the season, 28-7 over Hamilton.
And what's impressive about that one was that they did it without their starting quarterback, Marshall Brown. Had an injury week 1 against Gahanna Lincoln, couldn't play the second week. Had to put in Quentin Kaler, tight end, play quarterback, did a phenomenal job.
Colson Bunch, the kicker, ready to kick off. And here we go. And that one, gonna be a touchback. Colson Bunch, actually a member of the Mason soccer team for the 2nd straight year. Mason electing to have a soccer player as their kicker. Kind of an interesting new strategy that Coach Caster's implemented. And another big change you'll notice tonight for the Comets, not wearing their traditional green and white. They've got black alternate uniforms on. And starting today for the Comets, Liam McMains, Malachi Reed, Caden Davis, and Bryce Falk on the defensive line. Jake Bates, Kai Wolfolk, and Nick Sailors at linebacker. In the DBs, Sean Krukenberg, Weston Simmons, J.C. Deaton, and Zach Rogers. Schreiber takes the snap, and he finds his target, Soupy.
Yeah, and Soupy so far has had a great season. It's only a sophomore, 8 catches with 93 yards. Great slot receiver option for Oak Hills. Beautiful hook route right there, as that's going to be a first down for the Oak Hills Highlanders.
Yeah, Schreiber going to want to get this passing game going early. He's also a threat with his legs. So the Comets, they like to crash their defense, but Schreiber with the option, gets it to his running back, Lamar Parker Jr.
The pitch was to Eric Dorsey. He was brought down.
Excuse me, that's Eric Dorsey, the senior back, going to take it. That's blown up pretty close to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 8.
Another tackle by Jake Bates. We've already said it in this broadcast, but top 5 GMC in tackling. Gets another tackle right there. Off to a good start tonight.
Yeah, and Jake Bates really came on the scene last year as a junior, and he was 2nd in the GMC in tackles, and he's the real heartbeat of this team, one of the team captains. Schreiber, the read option, takes it. He's met at the line by a swarm of Comet defenders. And it's Bryce Falk who brings him down. And Falk had a great week 1. He's actually playing all 3 phases of the ball. He was punting, playing some offensive line, and then defense. And he's one of the best pass rushers on this team. Going to be in the backfield all night.
Yeah, you got to give him credit. Hard enough to play 2 positions at once, but 3 on all 3 sides of the ball just goes to show the physical talent that he is.
And empty formation for the Oak Hills. Schreiber going to run with it. Breaks a tackle and down. A little bit of some late contact there, and the officials will throw a flag. Schreiber slid.
Jackson Schreiber kept it.
And then
He ran ahead for about
hit
7.
afterwards.
There is a penalty
And that's going to be a
on the
flag.
play.
And that was Bates, just a little too aggressive.
Yeah, a bit jumpy in that call. Play. Was a bit close, I will admit, but Schreiber did make the slide before Jake did go into action and make contact.
And that's going to be a Highlander first down. 15 yards.
The penalty was for a late hit on the Comets. It was 15
A late hit.
yards, so it's now 1st and 10 for the
Not what
Highlanders
you want to see
from the Mason
on
45.
setting up a 3rd and long. Schreiber hands it off to Parker. But again, only gets a few yards.
DeMar Parker.
Oak Hills so far this game has
He was met by
attempted a lot with the run. So far the Comets defense, D-line has done a great job of swallowing it up. Almost every time, only coming out with 2 or 3 yard gains.
Yeah, and they're trying to take the strategy of Johanna Lincoln, who rushed for over 100 yards against the Comets, but so far tonight, not giving up much room. Parker, yet again, met near the line of scrimmage.
DeMar Parker.
Able to break through a little bit. Yeah, it looked like the defense had him at the line of scrimmage a bit before, but great job right there. Breaks the tackle, gets another 5 yards right there instead of a 3rd and long, and now it's only a 3rd and medium. Now as an offensive coordinator, you get to think of options you can do here. You can go for the pass, you can go for the run.
Yeah, absolutely, those extra yards there, setting up a much more manageable 3rd and 5, putting Jackson Schreiber in a good situation. Again, Schreiber lined up empty. And he's gonna be met in the backfield and sacked. The Comets force 4th down. A big time play.
Jackson Schreiber kept it, but
Jesse Bates again, wow. We saw last 3rd down, they went for the empty formation again. Turned out to be a run. Tried it again here, but Comets able to sniff it out pretty early.
Yep, Jake Bates, Nick Sailors were there in the backfield almost immediately. Now, Oak Hills punts it. And that punt is fielded for a fair catch.
Punted it for the Highlanders. It was fielded
It was
by
Sean Krukenberg
Krukenberg.
who took the fair catch. Now the Comets offense heading onto the field for the first time tonight. The big story is Larson Brown returning to the field after missing last week. And Quentin Kaler, the tight end, did a pretty good job. Coach Kastner was pleased with the way the offense performed. They know they did leave some points on the board. 28 points. They could have had a lot more. Comet in motion as Brown takes the snap. And he hands that off to Tay Hibbett, the sophomore. He's kind of been the Comets' leading rusher. They put him in 2nd half of week 1 and haven't really looked back.
Yeah, you look at the Comets, got a 3-headed monster of Tay Hibbert, Weston Simmons, Nick Sayers that they're trying to run here. But so far, Tay has delivered extremely good job considering he's a sophomore. The other 2 guys are seniors.
And Brown throws it to Sailors, and he gets that one for a first down. Dialing up the screenplay against Johanna Lincoln. Sailors took one 80 yards. So he's got some big playability. Last year it was the 3-down running back, but now playing a lot of defense as an outside linebacker. They've kind of limited his touches on offense. You get a look at the Comets' offensive line. They've shuffled some things up. We mentioned Bryce Falk playing offensive line. Ben Fosnot, who'd been playing tight end, now playing tackle. Brown takes the snap in the shotgun. Pump fake. Throws it way downfield and dropped. Braden Greer knows he had an opportunity there. Pass breakup from Greg Walker.
I like the play call. You know, 1st and 10, early in the game, we want to try to get a big spark going. Larson Brown airs one out almost halfway across the field. It was an impressive play. Almost had it too. But I like the play call from Coach Castor so far. You know, don't want to play conservative.
Yeah, and when you get your starting quarterback back, it definitely opens up the playbook a little bit. Brown in shotgun. Sailors in the backfield. And he'll take that one, breaks a few tackles, and he's still going. Up to midfield before being brought down.
Nick Sailors, the ball carrier.
Nick Sailors refusing to go down. It's a nice solid 5 yards after contact right there. He's a hard hitter. He's able to play both sides of the ball at running back and linebacker. He's got a lot of pop right there. Quick, strong, just what you're looking for.
Yeah, been able to get another first down. So Nick Sailors starring on offense so far. And this time it'll be Larson Brown and Hibbett in the backfield. Kaler in motion. Hands it off to Hibbett. And doesn't get much of a push there. Able to only get a few yards.
Hibbett, the ball carrier.
Yeah, and back to what we were talking about, Quentin Kaler. This game got moved back to tight end, but against Hamilton in a 28-7 win.
Really nice showing from the Comets. Their first home game. It's a blackout in the student section. So nice atmosphere here at Dwire Field.
Yeah, players matching the black hole too. You know, love the uniforms, by the way. I think they look really clean.
The players definitely were excited about these ones when they debuted them a few weeks ago. Now finally getting to see him on the field as Brown gets it to Jack Ryder on a quick pass.
Larson Brown found Jack Ryder.
And Ryder, the senior, really stepping into a big role at receiver. Last year, their top 4 receivers all graduated. So there was a big void at the position. Braden Greer broke out week 1, as we saw Brown try to go deep earlier to him, but Jack Ryder, expect him to be more of the possession receiver that Brown goes to.
Yeah, but tough role to step into, you know, lose most of your guys senior year, and all of a sudden you become the lead guy, the leader for this young wide receiver corps for the Mason Comets.
Brown takes the snap, and it's a little high, and he's brought down immediately. And the first Highlander to get to him was Parker Smith.
Larson Brown was brought down by.
We see here that snap just a little high. Brown bobbles it, and Hibbett isn't able to get the block. Brown didn't stand a chance there. 2nd and 13.
Yeah, Larson Brown just forced that one up. Just make sure you have possession. Don't turn it from a 3-yard loss into something worse, possibly a fumble or scoop and score.
Yep, and their center, Dominic Bomarito, one of the returning starters on the offensive line, so they expect a lot from him. Brown in the shotgun. And that one no good.
Larson Brown's pass was intended for.
Yeah, heavy coverage right there. Look for the hook route down the middle. Just put a bit too much on that one. It's going to be 3rd and 13 now for the Comets.
Yeah, and Larson Brown actually intended that pass for his brother, Quinn Brown, the tight end. With Fosnot stepping into the offensive line, it's going to be an opportunity for Quinn Brown to kind of break out tonight. So a fun storyline seeing the brothers. Oak Hills with a really good opportunity here. 3rd and 13 at the 44. Could stop the Comets. Brown goes back, airs that one out. He can't find his receiver, but there is a flag on the play. That pass was intended for Colin Billhorn.
And it looks like maybe a passing interference call on Oak Hills.
Yeah, and that flag was out near the 10-yard line. The Comets sideline feels pretty confident. Offense still out there. we await the official ruling here.
Looks like the officials are going to need to talk about it for a little bit.
And it is pass interference, so the Comets catch a break. Brown wasn't able to find his receivers. He probably wouldn't have connected on that one, even without the pass interference, but.
Yeah. Looks like 10 or 20 yards overthrown. That's a bit too much, that pass.
Yeah, a little overthrown, but poor mistake from Oak Hills, and now the Comets deep into the Highlander territory at the 30-yard line. Brown under center, and he takes it and hands it off to Sailors, and he's met right away.
Nick Sailors was met at the line of scrimmage.
Tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's R.J. Miller, the senior linebacker. He's one of the leaders of this defense, 9 tackles. Actually make it 10 on the season so far.
Also 2 on the play, brings up 2nd down
Yeah,
and 12.
great read right there. Able to just burst right through the line. Nick Sayers, just a great job of just trying to get as much yardage as he can. He almost got Larson Brown handing it off to him. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, we've seen a healthy dose of Sailors and Hibbett today, which is a bit of a change of approach, as you mentioned, Braden. They've been going with 3 or 4 running backs in the first 2 games. Brown again hands it off to Sailors, and he finds a hole. Gets it up. About 6 or 7 yard gain.
Solid pickup right there.
And it will be 3rd and 6, so 6 yards on that carry. And the Comets at the 25-yard line, you know, might be 4-down territory. I mentioned earlier Colson Bunch, the senior kicker, the soccer player. He's been doing predominantly kickoffs. And there the Oak Hills student section has a nice showing today for an away game. Oak Hills not at the closest team in the GMC in proximity to Mason. Yeah, but a lot of fans, they're excited about how their team started the year. And Sailors gets the 1st down.
Yeah.
Comet offense is rolling.
That was an amazing job by Sailor right there. Just dives right over. Should we take a look at the Comets student section over here? Amazing showing out here.
And the home opener.
I don't know, there's an open seat left at the 50-yard line.
No. The Black Hole out in full swing. And Comets, you know, Mason, one of the biggest high schools, the biggest high school in Ohio, and their student section likes to represent that. Now Brown, 1st and 10 in the red zone. Takes a snap under center. Hands it off. And Brody, too, the defensive back, has it. The officials
that was again Nick Sailors,
are going to say that Sailors was down before the fumble.
There is an illegal procedure penalty against
There's
the
a
Comets,
flag on
so
the
that
field.
will come back.
And illegal formation from the Comets. So going to set them back there in really good position in the red zone. But now pushes them back 5 yards. Still 1st down, so not all is lost.
Yeah,
and just great atmosphere in Mason for the first home game of the season. Friday Night Lights, always a highlight of the new school year. Brown takes the snap and shotgun, hands it off to Sailors, patient, finding the hole, and we'll get it close to the original spotting, so it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Nick Sailors in the first quarter has gotten a pretty heavy workload for him so far. You see more of him than Tibbetts, but he's been pretty productive. Almost every time he's ran, it's been a 4 or 5 yard gain for the Comets.
Yeah, and this Oak Hills defense been a little squishy, and the Comets are attacking that. They like to run the ball.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for from a running back. Not necessarily a guy that every once in a while will break for a big yard gain, but consistency.
Sailors again has it, and there's that burst that we've been looking for.
Yeah, Nick Sailors flying through the open field right there. Almost gets a 1st down on that too, but again, just just slicing right through the Oak Hills defense. And you talked about it earlier, these Oak Hill Highlanders look a little bit gassed out there. You know, Comets just running it right down their throat so far this game.
And this has been a long possession, only 2 minutes left in the first quarter. This is exactly how Mason wanted this game to go. Control the line of scrimmage, control possession, and let your defense do the hard work. Again, Sailors has it, and he's going to get it close to the 1. So 1st and goal for the Comets now set up. And this offensive line, this is the best they've looked all season. Ben Fosnot standing at 6'7". At tight end, now moving over to tackle. I think that was a really wise move.
Yeah, you talk about the O-line. They've been playing with injuries this year. Senior Aaron Spears has been out most of the beginning of the year. Ethan Lee has as well. You see a lot of juniors stepping up to the role. But smart move so far by the coaching staff, moving Ben Fosnot to tackle. He's done a phenomenal job this game. And overall, O-line has done pretty good too. And
on that left side, we also got a sophomore in Liam Davidson playing. And Sailors dives in for the touchdown. Comets get on the board. Nick Sailors caps off a fantastic drive. Comets fans loving it. First touchdown at home on the season. As we take a look at that replay, just dives over the goal line for the touchdown. Nick Sailors made some plays on defense, comes back out. He wasn't gassed, gets the touchdown. Black Hole very excited. Comets couldn't have asked for a better first drive. Kick from Michael Timmons is good. Comets take 7-0 lead. And now it's going to be on Jackson Schreiber in the Highlanders to rebound here, but with the way the Comet defense was playing, that might be a tall task.
Yeah, it's only been.
We're going to look back at this touchdown. Sailors takes the handoff, jumps over several defenders, and just gets that ball across the end zone for the touchdown. There he is.
Yeah, once
getting
again,
much needed water break after playing 2 straight series.
Yeah, once again, a great job by the O-line, able to hold the line in the center. You got to see Quinn Killer right too, great pull, able to hold the defensive end off the left side. Able to get Nick Sailors some space to dive into the end zone.
Rejuvenated offensive line, rejuvenated run game for the Comets. And the energy in the stadium right now is electric. Comets getting hyped for the kickoff. Bunch takes it. And Max Soupy takes it. He's got some gaps all the way to the 35. Really good return for the sophomore. So decent field position for Oak Hills now. 1 minute and 17 seconds left in the first quarter.
He returned it all the way to the 35-yard line.
Now Soupy,
1st and 10, Highlanders.
part of their dynamic receiving duo with Jacob Day, the senior. Jackson Schreiber really relied on those two early on in this season. And that's helped them have the 3rd best passing offense in the GMC.
Yeah, you talk about Jackson Soupy. Impressive work for a sophomore coming in, play varsity for the Oak Hills Highlanders.
Oh, and the Comets blitz, but Schreiber able to find his check down. That was Nathan Fulton, the tight end, and he barrels his way.
Yeah, smart move by Schreiber right there. Pressure early on, just able to dump it off to his tight end. Allows him to get a solid gain for a first down too. You talk about Schreiber, you know, 3rd in GMC in passing yards. A lot of it isn't necessarily the arm strength, but a lot of it is decision making. That's what you're looking for as a coach.
Yeah, and Schreiber, he's an athlete too. We haven't seen him run much today, but I expect that to change. So he takes the snap, throws it. He finds Ethan Grady for a big gain past the 30. So a big time throw. Schreiber takes the snap, immediately pulls the trigger, finds his receiver. And the Comet defense couldn't do much there.
Yeah, I talked about earlier, great decision making by Jackson Schreiber right there. Ethan Grady with the vertical route, slices through the Comets zone defense. Phenomenal play. It's going to be a big gain for the Oak Hill Highlanders as they're now almost in the red zone.
Yeah, and they were run heavy on their first series as they handed it off here on the first play, and that is DeMar Parker takes it, and he gets 2 yards, brought down by the junior linebacker Kai Wolfolk. But maybe pass heavy is the way to go here. The strength of the Comet defense is their defensive line. Caden Davis, Bryce Falk, we've talked about them, and then the linebackers Jake Bates and Wolfolk, really good in run defense.
Yeah, a lot of experience in the front lines for the Comets.
And that's going to do it. The first quarter flies by. The Comets lead 7-0. We're going to head to a quick break.
On air or online, this is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
Spending time outdoors has never felt more valuable. Whether it's exploring nature or relaxing in your yard, let's do it responsibly. Before going out, check for closures and fire restrictions. Practice social distancing, even when
And we're back for the second quarter. Comets lead 7-0, and Jackson Schreiber, the Oak Hills quarterback, looking for his receiver, Max Subi, but cannot find him. And Sean Krukenberg in coverage, the safety. What a game he had last week. We take back. Good throw from Schreiber, the back shoulder fade, but Krukenberg makes the play in coverage.
Yeah, able to get an arm up there, able to deflect the pass. One of the returning juniors from last year is Sean Krukenberg. Had a great season, had a great game against Hamilton last year, had 2 picks against the Big Blue. Shows off the town again right there. Able to prevent a possible touchdown from the Oak Hill Highlanders.
Yeah, and also sets up a 3rd and 8. So Schreiber, again, is facing a lot of pass rush. And that ball batted away. Big time stop. That's Bryce Falk. Oak Hill sideline. Disappointed.
Yeah, amazing play by Bryce Falk right there. Coming off the edge, able to get a hand up there, deflects the pass. Almost a pick, too. D-line was just crashing over there. But, again, Comets' defense so far has been phenomenal. Able to pressure the quarterback, stuff the run game. If you're the defensive coordinator, you're happy about their performance so far.
Yeah, and the Comets, they put a lot of priority on their defensive line. And a lot of noise. Oak Hill's going to call timeout ahead of their 4th and 8 at the 26-yard line.
Of course, at the half, we have a performance by the Mason.
So the Comets defense
and of course, this is
put some pressure on them, 4th down at their home field, and this place got really loud right before that play. And Jackson Schreiber just a little flustered after almost being sacked by Falk.
Yeah, interesting play call, too, by the Oakland Highlanders. It is in 4th down territory. I will give them lined up at the Comets 26, but 4th and 8 is almost this whole drive. They've been pressured a bunch by the Comets D line. If I were Oak Hills and I had confidence in their kicker, I'll go for the field goal here.
Yeah, 43-yard field goal. So if you have a good kicker, it is manageable, but really in high school, it just all depends on your confidence level. But this is definitely too close to punt, so you can't fault them for going for the touchdown. This drive was set up by a big play to Ethan Grady. He's lined up in the slot here on the right side of the field along with Soupy. Schreiber and Parker in the backfield. Schreiber takes the snap. 3 Comets closed in, and what a play from the Comets. J.C. Deaton, the senior cornerback, nearly intercepts the ball at the goal line. And the Comets get the ball back. Student section loving it. J.C. Deaton, who dealt with some injuries earlier on in the season, finally getting healthy. He's excited. Just a missed opportunity there from the Highlanders. Now we see the Comet offense head back out, and they were dominant on their first drive. That run game was getting whatever it wanted.
Yeah, and you know what they say, sometimes the best defense is offense. Just able to drain out the clock, not giving Oak Hills a chance to get comfortable on the field.
And Brown hands it off to Hibbett. And he'll push forward for a few yards.
Hibbett, the ball carrier.
And Hibbett, the sophomore, has played a more of a lead back role lately, but so tonight it's been a lot of sailors. I expect as the night goes long, and then they kind of rely on sailors on defense to see a lot more of Hibbett. Brown and Hibbett in the backfield. Takes the snap out of shotgun. Quick throw to Jack Ryder. It's going to be brought down right around the first down marker.
Jack Ryder.
Yeah, and you look at the passing game so far, a lot of quick routes, a lot of short passes, high completion percentage looks for Larson Brown. And so far they've worked. They've used it in second and third down situations where they need a bigger chunk, but most of the game, a lot of running from the Comets with Sayers and Tibbetts.
Yeah, and Comet offense. And they do end up giving them the first down. The initial spot was second and short, but now it's first down. That kind of opens up your options here. A stacked receiver set here, but
timeout, Comets.
The Comets going to call a timeout. Some confusion on the offense. Larson Brown talking to Coach Kastner, and started at quarterback for them last year, and they're very high on him. He's got a big arm. His leadership has really developed over the past 2 years. They're confident in what he can do. And Oak Hills, their defense, not a great start. Over the past 2 weeks, though, 31-20 win over Turpin, a 20-15 win over Sycamore. They've played pretty well. They want to keep up that hot start.
Yeah, going back to Oak Hills, they have tied their win total this season from the past 3 years. I mean, if I'm an Oak Hills student right now, then I'm hyped. I'm excited about the season. But, great way to start off for the Oak Hill Highlanders.
Absolutely, the Comets looking to end their win streak. It's Brown, Comet in motion. It's Chase Blevins, the junior receiver. And Brown finds Quinn Brown. Brown to Brown. There's that brother connection that we talked about.
Yeah, it's the first connection of the game. Oh, it's pretty cool to see two brothers play on the same side of the ball. It's interesting to see how this is going to play out later on in the year.
Yeah, the Brown family has a nice legacy in Mason football. Older brother Colin was the quarterback a few years back. Larson Brown now a 2-year starter, and Quinn a junior starting for the first time. Tonight also the Hall of Fame game for Masons. They're honoring a lot of prior Comets. And Hibbett pushes his way forward. That's his best run of the night. He's going to get up to the 47 as they push into Highlander territory.
Yeah. When you look at Tay Hibbett, it's pretty impressive considering the amount of power he brings for a running back as a sophomore. You know, you saw it right there. He's able to push the line for a solid 3-4 yard gain. And you know, when you're running 3 to 2 running backs a game, you like to have options. And it's interesting to see, compare and contrast Nick Saylor's and Tay Hibbett's skill sets.
And Hibbett is going to take the handoff there and finds the lane. Keeps going, stays on his feet down at the 35. Another really good run. And there, had some nice lead blocks, but he jump cutted, found the lane, and just went with it.
Yeah, it looks like an outside handoff right there. Able to find a hole, and as we were saying earlier, impressive amount of strength. Able to get a few yards after contact right there. As now Comets in Highlander territory once again.
Yeah, the Highlander defense getting beaten down by this Comet offensive line and rushing attack. And Brown is going to hand it off to Hibbett again, because why not? It seems to be working. And he gets another good game up to the 30.
Yeah, Comets so far this game playing bully football, just pounding it inside with their running backs. You get the occasional pass from Larson Brown, but so far it's been Salyers, Tibbetts, and Salyers and Tibbetts.
Yeah, and Hibbett checks out Jake Bates in at running back, the captain, the linebacker. Here we see Quentin Kaler in the slot, and Coach Kastner got to be happy with his performance so far. Kaler in motion. He blocks, and Bates gets hit immediately. And there is a flag thrown down on the field, as well as, you know, the orange flag we see right there is just a placeholder, but there was a flag on the field, and Kaler in motion isn't able to get to his block right away, and Bates met immediately by Luke Barkley, loses the football. The Comets moving backwards.
Yeah, Luke Barkley, great play right there, able to shed off Quentin Kaler. Almost gets a forced fumble. Would have been great for the Oak Hills. Would have started pretty far up in the territory. And
they are going to call holding there. So sets the Comets back even more. But, you know, a disaster avoided there.
Yeah, great job by Larson Brown. Quick reaction, just fell on the football. It could have been a lot worse. Highlanders get that football. Could have been a shift in momentum.
Absolutely. Blevins in motion. And Larson Brown takes the snap and finds Ryder staying on his feet up to the 45. Back to the initial first down marker. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 now.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of curl routes tonight from Jack Ryder. A lot of what you're saying, him being the slot receiver, you know. Always a reliable option for Larson Brown, and you need to pick up 7 to 8 yards, just find Ryder, dump it off to him. And so far it's been working this game.
Yeah, the Comets like to have these defined receiver roles. Braden Greer, kind of their big, deep threat option. You know, he's a basketball player, so go up and get it type receiver. Jack Ryder on the outside, a possession guy. We've seen Blevins today in the slot. And Brown finds Braden Greer across the middle of the field. That's been a great connection throughout the start of the year, and a first down for the Comets.
Yeah, great play call right there.
As we take a replay here, Brown steps back. Nice cut back for Greer.
Looks like Brady LaGreca, the DB, was playing man coverage. Braden Greer able to pull off the in route. Finds Brown able to find Greer right up the middle. It's a big first down for the Comets.
And on 3rd and 10, that was a critical play. You're not in surefire field goal territory. So would have set up kind of an awkward 4th and 10, but now hands it off. Met around the 20-yard line. Jake Bates still out there running back.
Looks like Tia Hibbett's going to come into the game.
And Oak Hills defense, you know, starting to get a little better against the run. Still giving up 3 yards.
Yeah.
There's more. This stadium is packed. The entire, you know, it seems like there isn't any open seats on the home side. Brown under center, hands it off to Hibbett. Outside, he's got some room. He pushes forward, and it's going to be close to a first down.
Hibbett, he was run out of bounds by.
Yeah, close to play right there. I don't know if he got the third down, but Tay Hibbett and Nick Saylor's reliable options so far this game at the running back position.
And one of the things I think this new Comet offensive line has allowed them to do is they're able to play with a little more interesting blocking schemes. We've seen a couple wide zone plays, pulling blockers, getting their running backs out in space, and they found a lot of success with that.
Yeah, and if you're the offensive coordinator for Comets here in Little, that's just a breath of fresh air. You don't have to worry so much about relying so much on your quarterback.
And right there, Hibbett with a couple nice jump cuts, and he's still up there. Brought down by R.J. Miller, the linebacker. His helmet, Hibbett's helmet comes off, so he's going to have to check off for this 4th and 2, and that's not ideal. This is short yardage situation. You want your starting running back out there, but they put in the hammer, Jake Bates. He got the nickname from his hard hits on defense, but we'll see if the hammer can plug a gap here, running the ball.
Yeah, 4th and 2, you talk about 4th down territory. At the Oak Hill 15, when you talk about the Oak Hills offense, haven't been able to produce much this game. It's a pretty safe call here for the Comets.
And Brown in shotgun. Fisher's going to whistle the play dead. Coach Kastner called a timeout just before the snap. 6 minutes to go in this first half, and that's the second timeout from the Comets so far. Just wants to make sure his team is fresh and ready for this 4th and short. Now, in the red zone at the 15-yard line, you have to come away with points here. Can't afford to have another red zone trip. That last week, their very first drive, got all the way down the field, did not convert. And they did end up winning that game 28-7, but getting off to a slow start.
Yeah, and again, a lot of it has to do with the confidence of your kicker. In high school, it's hard to find a guy that you're reliable and comfortable with kicking in almost any point in the field to like the 40. So it looks like they're going to stay on the field here, but this might be their safest option they have.
Yeah, and a 4th and 2, that's a pretty high percentage play. And now Brown lined up under center. He was in the shotgun before. And he hands it off, it's a play action. And looking for Kaler. That pass broken up by Greg Walker. And so the Highlanders going to take possession. Looking for his tight end. Quentin Kaler, filled in for Brown last week. But
very interesting situation. Hadn't played quarterback his freshman year of high school. He was on a 2 or 3 year break from not seeing the field behind the center. But considering 7 for 12, 80 yards, was able to run the ball too. And overall, pretty good job by Quentin Kaler.
And Oak Hill is now able to swing the momentum a little bit. Comets get their defense out there. Down, backed up at the 15-yard line. This is a key situation for the Comet defense to make a statement. And Schreiber brought down. That's Aaron Spears.
Interesting play call there by Oak Hills. Looks like Jackson Schreiber got tripped up by his own guy right there. There's a flag on the field, however, so. I don't know if it's a legal formation or it might be something else, but.
Aaron Spears made the stop on that first down play, but there was a penalty flag
Coach
for
Kastner,
illegal shift.
this guy's in with the referees.
And it looks like they're going to call off the penalty.
Looks like the Comets will decline that one.
So after talking with Kastner, no foul on the play. Schreiber in the shotgun. He keeps it. He's that running ability. And picked off by Zach Rogers, the senior cornerback. Jumps that route in the red zone and now puts the Comets in the red zone. Comet fans going crazy, and what a swing of momentum. Comets were down in their own red zone, couldn't get it, and here we're going to see a replay.
Look at the pressure by the D-line, able to get Jackson Shire right out of the pocket. Great read by Rogers right there, the senior. Mason Reed right there.
And it looked like he came out of nowhere. Oak Hills receiver just threw his hands up in the air.
Jacob Day right there was the target.
Jacob Day heading into this game, the third leading receiver in the GMC, so he's a talented player, and even he didn't see Rogers coming. Terrific coverage to bait.
I didn't
into that play.
I didn't see him coming either. He just flew out of nowhere, able to make an amazing play. As now Comets right back in the red zone.
Rogers also a sprinter for the Mason track team, so that closing speed came into play. And Sailors has it, runs up the middle. Gets just a few yards, but pushes it
Nick Sailors
to the 18-yard line.
If I'm the Comets here, you got 5.5 minutes left in the quarter. You know, you got in a lead. You're in the red zone already. If I was the offensive coordinator, Coach Brian Crasser, I'd consider running the ball out a little bit, you know, get some time off that clock, because considering how much this Oak Hills offense have been stuttering this game, you know, getting your clock off as much as you can would be a great factor.
And
Nick Sailors on the
push there from Sailors. Gets a few yards, but unable to get the first down. Now going to set up third 3. Comets have a lot of options here. You know, you're in a 4-down situation, though we just saw Michael Timmons warming up his leg, the kicker, so maybe they will opt for a field goal this time if they can't convert. But Sailors is out there at running back.
There's like a bunch formation on the right.
And Sailors not able to get the first down.
He was hit first by Luke Barkley.
For one of the first time, a few times today, it was an amazing play right there by the Oak Hills D-line. Able to shroud the center. Nick Sailors couldn't find a hole, had to cut to the right side, able to swarm them as Nick Sailors can only meet the line of scrimmage, but it does look like the offense is staying out there.
Yeah, so again, a 4th and short. The Comets are going to stay on the field, but this time they have Sailors in it running back instead of Bates. Brown under center, stacked box from the Highlanders, and we're seeing some movement, both sides pointing, but it is a false start on the Comets, and that's going to push them back. And now you kind of have to kick the field goal, and yet special teams unit coming out onto the field. And we're going to get our first opportunity to see Michael Timmons kick in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, that's just a killer right there, you know. Second false start penalty in this game for the Comets, but could not have come at a worse time. Such a critical position.
And not only that, right there, that's a situation where you have a hard count. You go in knowing that the snap's going to come late. You're trying to bait in offsides from the defense, and you know, maybe that's where some of the inexperience comes from the Comet offensive line. You can't fall for your own tricks.
Yeah, a lot of juniors and seniors, but not a lot of them have seen the field until this season.
Timmons getting ready for the 37-yard kick, and it's just low. May have been tipped. Oak Hills defense very excited. And so what looks just more like a missed opportunity from the Comets is a swing of momentum. And Zach Rogers' interception put the Comets with great field position. Now they have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, I don't even know if they got a first down. One of the few times today we've seen the Comets offense been stuttered. And a lot of that, again, has to do with the Oak Hills D-line able to stop the running game.
Yeah, 3 minutes and 23 seconds left in this half. The Comets have driven down the field twice, and then they've been in the red zone 3 times and only 1 touchdown. And that's an issue that's plagued them throughout the start of the year. Just these short yardage situations, but oftentimes it is mistakes like a penalty. Larson Brown had an interception, after a bit of a miscommunication with Ben Fosnot week 1, so their red zone offense has to be better. And the defense playing a little angry. They hit DeMar Parker in the backfield.
Yeah, back to what you were saying about the mistakes. You saw it at Gahanna Lincoln, but only really noticed by at least the fans. You know, comes in a close loss against Gahanna Lincoln, so those mistakes hurt them a little bit more.
Yeah, and you know, Oak Hills and Gahanna, these are two very different teams. Gahanna had one of the best defenses, frankly, in the state, multiple Division I players, so the Comets weren't able to run the ball at all. They were barely able to move down the field constantly, you know, getting it inside their own 20. Today, they've had the ball at, you know, the opposing 20-yard line. And
there's a fumble on the field.
The Comets think they have it, and they do. The referee's signaling it, and just like that, another turnover from the Highlanders. Give the Comets great field positioning. They're going to have to get a replay here.
The hammer, once again. He's been the leader of this defense all year. Had an amazing season last year, just continues to do it this season. Able to strip the ball right there, as once again, Comets in great field position. Hopefully they can capitalize it this time.
Schreiber, the quarterback, running with it, but Jake Bates able to hit him, and then J.C. Deaton recovers the fumble. 2.5 minutes left in this half, and the Comets can make a statement on the heading into halftime. Brown under center, Hibbett in the backfield. He's going to step back, and he throws it, looking for Jack Ryder. What a catch from Ryder. Tight coverage, doesn't matter. Able to adjust and get the ball. A beautiful throw from Larson Brown. But wow, Jack Ryder, he's having a great game. That's his 3rd catch so far. Braden Greer had a breakout week 1. Last week, Larson Brown didn't play, more of a rushing attack, and then this week might be the Jack Ryder game. Comets fans getting really excited, student section. And Brown slings it near the goal line, and sticky coverage, and Ryder able to come down with it. I mean, Greg Walker was all over Jack Ryder. Does not matter. Able to pick up that amazing conversion, and now the Comets 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Really good opportunity to score here.
Looks like a timeout. It's going to be called again by Brian Kastner. We're at the 2-minute mark here in the 2nd quarter. It's going to be with the Comets the last time out.
And yet,
Remember at the half,
yeah, the Comets fans very excited now. You know, multiple turnovers, a big catch there from Jack Ryder, creating an exciting environment. At halftime, we are going to get a look at the latest inductees into the Mason Athletics Hall of Fame. You know, inductees from a large span of time, going back to the 60s. You know, near that very first Comet football team, and then, you know, inductees as late as, you know, 10, 15 years ago. Brown under center, hands it off to Hibbett, and touchdown. Comets with another one, able to capitalize on the fumble recovery. Tay Hibbett, the sophomore, barrels in for the touchdown. A big time play. What a season he's having. We're going to get a replay here.
Yeah, a great block by Chase Packer on the right guard right there. But it's a great day to be a Comets lineman. Phenomenal job with the run game so far. It's going to be a 2-score lead now for the Comets. Let's see if they can tag on the extra point here.
Yep. And Timmons is now, that is the 2nd blocked kick we've seen tonight. Timmons had a field goal blocked just a few minutes ago, and then there the extra point, so the score stands at 13-0, and Oak Hills, you know, hangs on to a sliver of momentum with that block. But
Comets 13, Highlanders
this replay. Just phenomenal play right there by
Brody 2 and Luke Barkley, the star defenders for this team. Barkley, the linebackers, made a couple nice plays in the backfield already. There comes up with a big special teams stop. But Comet offense still got to be happy with the way that drive ended. that pass and catch from Brown to Ryder, set it all up. Hibbett able to score the touchdown. Comets of all ages here, checking out the game.
Yeah.
ICRC-TV, we are a nonprofit. We'd love to have some volunteers here. Braden and I, we're Mason High School students, and ICRC, we're very grateful that we have the opportunity to partner with them to call these broadcasts, but it takes a lot more than just announcers, so we'd love to have some volunteers here to help out. And Comet special teams, Colson Bunch with the kickoff. Oak Hills, just under 2 minutes to go. A lot of urgency on this drive.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to play this 2-minute offense here. Saw earlier, Jackson Schreiber threw an interception not too long ago in the second quarter, so we'll see how conservative they're going to play it.
Yep. And a muffed return there. A Highlander. That's Barkley yet again. He just made the block on special teams then there. Falls on the ball on the return team, and then he's been starring at linebacker. He's doing it multiple phases of the game for Oak Hills, but a minute 55 to go. Jackson Schreiber turnovers on back-to-back possessions. You can't let that cloud you here. This is an important drive.
Yeah, interesting to see. Oak Hills might rely more on their top receivers, Jacob Day and Max Soup, to get more of an offensive production.
And Schreiber with the read option there, able to wiggle his way for a few yards. So good first down run.
Jackson Schreiber.
And they're actually going to credit him with 6 yards there, 2nd and 4. So fell forward for a few more.
Yeah, clock's still ticking though for the Highlanders as they're trying to hurry back to the line here.
Yeah, this is a 2-minute drill, hurry up situation.
Another empty set here for the Highlanders. We've seen a lot of that today.
Schreiber really comfortable back there, but the Comets have been pushing the pressure every time, and no different here, but Schreiber able to escape the pressure. And he finds his receiver, and he's got a lot of room. That was Ethan Grady. That's his second big-time game of the night. Brought down by J.C. Deaton. But
phenomenal.
Huge throw.
Yeah, that was just a phenomenal play by Jackson Schreiber. Under pressure, still manages to fly out of the pocket right there. Just airs it out downfield. Ethan Grady wide open. That's a big play for the Highlanders. It looks like this might be their best chance of scoring tonight.
And they're keeping themselves in this game. This Highlander offense, they look different than they have in the past. And Schreiber there fighting off some tackles and able to roll forward for a few yards, even though he was hit in the backfield. But Oak Hills, they have been one of the weakest teams in the GMC consistently over the past few years. The last 3 seasons, 0-11, 2-7, and 0-10, and this year already 2-0. And they're competing with a strong Comet squad. This could be a sign of a new age for Oak Hills. And Jackson, part of that is Jackson Schreiber.
Yeah, part of it is. You
Really
see
good
a
player.
lot of, young talent, a lot of returning guys too. It just kind of all came together for the Oak Hills Highlanders, but it's interesting to see what goes on behind the scenes to make this sort of change.
And Schreiber able to find his running back, Parker. Met by J.C. Deaton, forces DeMar Parker Jr. out of bounds.
Great catch right there by the junior. Does a phenomenal job of getting out of bounds. At 6 o'clock here, you got 17 seconds left, you got 2 timeouts. You have the chance of running 2 more plays, see if you can get a touchdown here, possibly make it a one-score game.
And that big throw to Ethan Grady certainly was huge for momentum, but it drained a lot of time off the clock. Just like you said, 17 seconds left, 3rd and 4. They have only 2 opportunities to score. And even if you do get a first down here, you probably only have 1 more. And there, Schreiber knows he had that one. Would have been able to hit Parker. Parker would have been able to go out of bounds, stop the clock. And now it's 4th and 4, 12 seconds left, and you're out of timeouts.
Pass was incomplete.
You see it here, maneuvers his way just near, just stays behind the line of scrimmage. Parker not able to grab that one.
Yeah, cut it close right there, but again, Comet defense, phenomenal job. Putting him under pressure and making an uncomfortable move out of the pocket. A lot of throws on the run so far. That's very hard to make.
And And they line up for the field goal. It's Jordan Brogan, the senior. This is a deep one, 38 yards. And it's good. A good kick there from Brogan. Puts the Oak Hills on the board. Only a 10-point deficit, so a touchdown and another field goal. Very much in this, as we're getting close to the second half. 7 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And there, we started all the way back at the 20, only had, about a minute and 50 seconds left. And end your drive with a big field goal there. That's got to give some confidence to your kicker. That's a successful drive for the Highlanders.
Yeah, first score of the game, just want to get a couple points on the board, have something to build off of for the second half. But, if you're the Comets right now, you're Cassidy, you're happy with both sides of the ball, Offense just been able to run it all game, able to tire out the Oak Hills defense once in a while. Just see, been able to air it out. Larson Brown also has done a great job. And on the defensive side, Jackson Schreider just not able to get a break at all during this game. It seems like almost every play he has to move out of the pocket just to get a pass off.
Yeah, the Comets have had a good game defensively, but right there is an example of where they can improve. They've given up a couple big plays tonight, and it's been the turnovers that have really helped them out. The reason they had the ball in their so close to the red zone 2 times to start with the possession was because of those turnovers. You got to limit the big plays in the second half. And now Brogan, after his field goal, kicks off. And that one, and it was Jake Bates returning that kick. He touched it, but bounces out of bounds. 5 seconds left.
A bit of a surprise right there. Looked like a bit of a squib kick. Jake Bates could have been disastrous, potentially, if Oak Hills had fallen on top of it, but instead, Comets retain possession. Looks like they're just going to take a knee here, run out the clock, head into the second half. The
Comets, mostly happy with your offensive performance. Larson Brown is throwing it well. Braden Greer, Jack Ryder, they've both been getting involved. Your running game has been effective, especially with Nick Sailors, but Tay Hibbett really got going on that third possession.
Yeah.
And we are going to head to the second half. Comets leading 13-3 in their home opener. Controlling the line of scrimmage has been the main storyline. We'll be here. We're going to take a look. First touchdown, Nick Sailors leaping into the end zone. That was a big play. Got the Comets on the board first. And then Schreiber escaping some pressure. Zach Rogers closes in out of nowhere. It's the interception.
Yeah, you look at this play. The hammer. Jake Bates able to get a strip. Fumble right there. Capital play on defense. They're going to set up this possession right here. Tay Hibbets scores a touchdown. 13-3 Comets. She's going to head into the break here. Stick with us for halftime, folks. We got some alumni coming back for us for a special ceremony.
On air or online. This is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
There's no better feeling than to be a part of a fire department. This is a family.
Police officer, it's a great job. It really is. You never know what you're going to get. You never know who you're going to help.
We're forgetting what's going on outside. We're focusing on what's going on in here, and we're all family.
This idea of a family academy, connecting families to talk about relevant issues.
Unbelievable. Milford has stormed all the way back in this football game.
The Warriors in the state finals! State finals! Ohio Wesleyan, here we come!
And it's up to every one of you all to keep this going and carry the torch. I hope you will do that. Thank you.
ICRC-TV.
Hear someone go, didn't it come from you guys?
Strangers cough at me.
Move away from me.
Someone spit towards my direction. All the stereotypes that we've worked so hard to break are just going to be reversed. And I won't let that happen.
We all have to play our part.
I donate my plasma.
I've been making masks.
We deserve respect as much as everybody else.
I'm a firefighter, not a virus.
I'm a mask maker, not a virus.
I'm a nurse.
I'm a delivery woman, chef, a neighbor,
artist,
bus driver.
I'm a doctor.
Fight the virus. Fight the virus.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC-TV Sports. Three-pointer. Got it! In for the Comets score.
Win! The Comets win! Yeah!
3, 2, 1.
Observe a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger, the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
On air or online, this is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV. On air or online, this is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC-TV Sports. Three-pointer. Got it! In for the Comets score.
Win! The Comets win! Yeah!
You made your house a reality. Homeschooling yourself on loans, color-coding listings, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. If you can ace house hunting, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
Today, I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars. Really tall. I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC-TV Sports. Three-pointer. Got it! In for the Comets score.
Win! Comets win! Yeah!
On air or online, this is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
Spending time outdoors has never felt more valuable. Whether it's exploring nature or relaxing in your yard, let's do it responsibly. Before going out, check for closures and fire restrictions. Practice social distancing, even when outside and on the trail. Back at home, if burning yard debris, keep your pile small. And no matter where you are, be sure to properly extinguish any outdoor fire. Drown, stir, drown, feel. We're all in this together. Help keep our safe places safe.
or online. This is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC-TV Sports. Three-pointer. Got it! In for the Comets score. The Comets win! Yeah!
You made your house a reality. Homeschooling yourself on loans, color-coding listings, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. If you can ace house hunting, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC-TV Sports. Three-pointer. Got it! In for the Comets score. The Comets win! Yeah!
On air or online. This is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
There's no better feeling than to be a part of a fire department. This is a family.
Police officer, it's a great job. It really is. You never know what you're going to get. You never know who you're going to help.
We're forgetting what's going on outside. We're focusing on what's going on in here, and we're all family.
This idea of a family academy, connecting families to talk about relevant issues.
Unbelievable. Milford has stormed all the way back in this football game.
The Warriors in the state finals! State finals! Ohio Wesleyan, here we come!
And it's up to every one of you all to keep this going and carry the torch. I hope you will do that. Thank you.
ICRC-TV. On air or online. This is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of light, hissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
Spending time outdoors has never felt more valuable. Whether it's exploring nature or relaxing in your yard, let's do it responsibly. Before going out, check for closures and fire restrictions. Practice social distancing, even when outside and on the trail. Back at home, if burning yard debris, keep your pile small. And no matter where you are, be sure to properly extinguish any outdoor fire. Drown, stir, drown, feel. We're all in this together. Help keep our safe places safe.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC-TV Sports. Three-pointer. Got it! In for the Comets score. Comets win! Yeah!
You made your house a reality. Homeschooling yourself on loans, color-coding listings, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. If you can ace house hunting, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC-TV Sports. Three-pointer. Got it! In for the Comets score. Comets win! Yeah! Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC-TV Sports. Three-pointer. Got it! In for the Comets score. Comets win! Yeah!
You made your house a reality. Homeschooling yourself on loans, color-coding listings, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. If you can ace house hunting, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On air or online, this is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
And we're back here, ICRC Sports. Comets currently lead 13-3 over the Oak Hills Highlanders. We'll show you the first touchdowns of the game. Nick Sailors leaping into the end zone for the score. And then Larson Brown hands it off to Tay Hibbett as he extends the lead to 2 scores for the Comets. So strong rushing attack has helped the Comets get out to a 10-point lead. I'm Andrew Little here with Braden Wass.
Yeah, I mean, talking about that run game so far for the Mason Comets. You got to give credit to a rejuvenated O-line over here. Coaching decision decided to move Ben Foss onto tight end to a tackle. He's really paid dividends this game. You know, you got to see a phenomenal half so far from Sailors and Hibbett.
Absolutely, and Larson Brown coming back from an injury. You know, he's been really effective when they've thrown the ball, but really have leaned on the rushing attack, kind of eased him back into things. But then on the defensive side of the balls, the 2 turnovers really been the story. Jake Bates forced a fumble, and Zach Rogers had an interception. So the Comets had a lot of big plays so far tonight, but you know, Oak Hills still in it. Was able to drive down the field and you know, get a field goal before the half.
Yeah, and you talk about this Oak Hills team coming off 2 wins in a row, coming on to this game. A lot of it had to do with their offense scoring 51 points the past 2 games. They've only mustered 3 so far in the first half. Let's see if the coaching staff made any changes to the Highlander game.
Yeah, and Oak Hills, you know, they kind of have the most momentum they've had in a while after a big play to their receiver, Ethan Grady, set up the field goal. And it's been a beautiful night in Mason, Ohio. Clear skies, 79 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, perfect weather for Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, and an amazing show out too from the Mason Comets students. We were talking about it earlier. Whole left side of the stands for the Mason Comets just filled to the brim. I don't know if there's an open seat in there, you know. Just an amazing showing for the home opener for the Comets.
And now, both teams getting ready. Comets will receive the opening kickoff. And they have a chance to really make a statement and take this game away. And the Comets student section back in full swing for their home opener. And from, you know, all the way from the bottom of the stands to the very, very top, you know, bleeding into the sides of the bleachers. The largest school in Ohio certainly likes to have a big turnout as they're getting excited for this kickoff. Oak Hills, not a bad showing at all. You know, for such a long drive, a lot of their students made it out. Excited about their team, who's off to a 2-0 start. And the kick is up. Comets with a decent return. Sean Krukenberg gets it up to the 20-yard line. And now the Comet offense heading back out here. And, you know, Braden, we talked about it. They're going to lean on the running attack, especially now that they're up by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's no doubt that they're going to run the ball here. It's just a matter of who. We saw a lot of Sailors around the first quarter. And then as we eased into the second quarter, we saw a lot more of Hibbett carrying the rock for the Comets. So it's interesting to see which one they're going to lead off with at the start of this third quarter.
And Hibbett tried it out there with quarterback Larson Brown, so maybe we'll see a lot of him. Quentin Kaler, the tight end, in motion. And the play action, Brown going to throw it to Kaler, his first catch of the night.
Yeah, quick hitter right there. Quinn Kaler set in motion right there, able to catch the defense off guard. It's going to be a nice solid game for 5 yards right there. And you talk a lot about this Comet offense, you know. Larson Brown getting eased back into things, missed last week with a left hand injury. You know, you've seen a lot of short, quick passes right here. Not a whole lot of airing out so far from this Comets offense.
And if you look close enough, you can still see that brace on Larson Brown, not his throwing arm, so is able to play through it right now as he hands it off to Hibbett. He's met right away.
Yeah, almost looks like one of those sliding gloves that a baseball player uses. Speaking of which, Larson Brown, not only a star quarterback for the Mason Comets, but also varsity player for their baseball team as well. You know, they contributed last year for the Comets baseball team that won the states all the way to Akron.
Yeah, a lot of two and three sport athletes for the Comets. including Quentin Kaler, the tight end you can see on your screen. He's also a pitcher for the Comets. And Brown under center, handed off to Sailors. He's got some room. Excuse me, that's Weston Simmons getting his first carry of the night. And they used him a lot earlier in the first game. He's a safety. He's more of a elusive receiving option at receiver.
That was a nice play by Brody too, the defensive back right there. Weston Simmons looks to be home free, had nothing but open turf for what seemed like yards and yards, but Brody too, defensive back, the senior able to get the stop right there.
Yeah, and Simmons with the handoff. He's the fourth running back the Comets have used tonight, able to break off a tackle. Still only able to push forward for about a yard.
Yeah, we're talking about the Comets right there. You just see a three-headed monster for the rushing game. That's a third monster right there, Weston Simmons. We've seen Sailors and Hibbett tonight, but in this third quarter, first appearance here from Weston Simmons.
Thank you. Now Brown getting ready to lead this Comet offense, 2nd and 9. Oak Hills defense trying to make a stand here. Colin Billhorn in motion. Brown under pressure, rolls out to his right, and he's going to take off with it. Gets the first down and out of bounds. Now Larson Brown, more of your pro-style pocket passer, but he's got underrated speed. Ran a 4.7 40 this summer, and teams have to take him seriously there. That's one of the areas he's developed the most there. A lot of pressure, and then able to just take it off and uses that speed. Looks like he's about to get tackled at the spot, but pushes through for about a 12-yard gain.
Yeah, and you talk about Larson Brown. Something that coaches like about him, well, what we like about him is his decision-making right there. Full display right there, nobody up and down field. Right side of the field of him right there, able to roll out to his right.
And Brown with a quick read there, finds Ryder. It's been his favorite target so far tonight. Ryder had a big play that set up the touchdown about 2 minutes before halftime. Yeah, going back to Larson Brown's first down run, that's the area they needed him to grow the most in this season. Last year he showed a lot as a passer. He was second team All-GMC, really good thrower, but his rushing attack wasn't all there. He wasn't very confident getting outside of the pocket. When the play breaks down, what are you going to do with the football? And he's shown a lot more confidence tonight, and I think the improved offensive lines definitely played a factor in that. But Hibbett going to get the first down. It's a nice push from his offensive line.
Yeah, and back we were talking about Larson Brown, a lot of praise in terms of arm strength, decision making, but the ability to improvise, underrated aspect that quarterbacks need to have to be able to succeed. And something we've seen him improve again is able to escape the pocket instead of taking a sack. As you've seen him grow from his junior to senior season. He's able to grow in that regard. And he's not just shackled to behind his guys in the O-line.
Larson Brown takes the snap from the shotgun, steps back, and he isn't able to find the open man, and that's a dropped interception from Oak Hills. He just held on to that football way too long.
Yeah, the senior Parker Smith right there almost had it, the linebacker, but
he was looking for his brother, Quinn Brown, but
yeah, Larson Brown had a lot of time on that play right there. O-line did a great job of giving us some time to work with, but looks like it came out of his hand. The wobbling spiral right there, and that could have been really dangerous for the Comets.
Yeah, and Oak Hills, you're down by 10. And there is a flag. Comets a little confused. A holding penalty called. It's going to push the Comets back even more. Now all the way back, 2nd and 20. Brown hands it off to Hibbett, and that's just exactly what they needed on a 2nd and long. Hibbett takes the handoff, just finds the gap, gets about 8 yards. They're now going to set up 2nd and 11 at the 46.
Another good job of the O-line, just able to produce a gap right there for Tay Hibbett to just run right through, and that's a formula for success tonight for the Comets. Just been able to find holes for the running backs, be able to keep picking up 5 to 10 yard gains.
And Hibbett right there had a nice stiff arm at the end to get even more yards. Now he's still lined up in the backfield. Takes that handoff, and he's got some room. Jukes past the guy all the way up to the 20-yard line. Tay Hibbett, what a run.
What a run, oh my goodness. Folks, he's only a sophomore and he's pulling off moves like that. Just watch this play right here. Splits it right up the middle. He cuts it back through the cornerback and just amazing run right there. You talk about his strength, his speed, just shows it off right there in an outstanding play from the sophomore.
And Hibbett's the complete package in there. If you're watching the replay, he dragged those defenders for about an extra 4 yards once somebody finally did get a hold of him. And they're very excited about his future, and they're going to give it to him again. Not as successful of a run, but still able to get a couple yards.
Yeah, if I'm the Comets, Coach Kastner, I'm excited to see the potential of Hibbett. You know, if he keeps working, he keeps growing, you know, the sky's the limit for him. As we have an injured Comet, it looks like, on the field. It looks like he's holding his shoulder. Appears to be Liam Davidson, the sophomore.
Davidson really stepped up. His brother Lane was a starting tackle for this team last year. And Liam, you know, they were excited about him, but I don't think they were anticipating him starting, but he looked really good this offseason, and in the summer won the starting guard job, and he's played really well. And this is an unfortunate injury for the youngster. And he's able to get up on his own power. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. As you can see, he's also got a brace on his hand, so he's been dealing with some injuries, fighting through it on the offensive line. He's a tough kid.
Yeah.
Best wishes to Davidson.
One of the factors that the Comets need so much that Davidson brings its size. You talk about this Comets O-line so far. You saw Gahana, you saw Hamilton, a lot of them more undersized O-linemen, but coming in at 6'2" and 253, he's definitely a big player that the Comets need. You know, and you hate to see him come off the field there.
Yeah, not only is he a big player, he's growing. You know, put on a lot of muscle, a lot of weight this summer to help his team. And Hibbett takes another handoff on 2nd and 10. And able to get about 4 yards. And set up a third medium. 3rd and 7 here.
I'm kind of interested to see what the Comets call here, you know. Saw a little bit of Simmons early on, but mostly they've run the ball with Hibbett, and, you know, you've seen mixed results, but he has the ability to break through for huge gains. But, you know, maybe let's see if they're considering passing the ball, Marson Brown.
And this is an important play. We've seen the Comets struggle on these 4th and shorts inside the 20-yard line. So they need to make the right call here. Play action, and finds Braden Greer, able to stay in bounds, push himself for the first down and more. So Comets now inside the red zone, or excuse me, inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for the Comets.
Yeah, second reception right there for the junior Braden Greer. You talk a lot about this Comets passing game plan. You see the receivers. Most of the completions so far I've seen have been out routes, in routes. You know, short gains right there is another one right there. You know, nothing too crazy. Just drain out the clock, march on the field. Seems what the Comets are aiming for here, and so far they've executed.
Already 6 minutes drained off the clock in the 3rd quarter. Comets, this is the first possession of the half. Came into a very clear game plan. Larson Brown hands it off to Tay Hibbett. And R.J. Miller going to save the touchdown there. Hibbett gets all the way up to the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal, but yeah, the Comets came in with a clear game plan. Run the ball, you know, short passes mostly off of play action, and just run the clock out.
Yeah, and I'd be surprised here if they try something different from that game plan. You know, it's worked all game. You're in the red zone. Probably going to see 3 straight rushes right here if it gets to 4th down. But it's like a pistol formation for the Comets.
Yep, Kaler in motion. And they're going to get it to Hibbett. And it's going to be close.
Does he have it?
Brought down at the goal line, or near the goal line, but
there is a
he's
flag on
the
the
short.
field. However, it looks like late call right there.
Here, he just met. Again, it's R.J. Miller, the linebacker, pushing Hibbett back, not giving up any space at the goal line, but flag on the field.
It does look like the Comets are moving back, however. Gassner is disputing the call. And you talk about this Oak Hills defense. You know, tonight, early on in the game, we've seen a lot of weakness in terms of the run game. You know, Sailors and Hibbets were always able to get huge chunks of yardage off of them, but so far this goal line stand that they've had, you know, has been pretty effective. You stop Hibbett twice, you draw the penalty, and it looks like there's a stoppage of play.
And then the penalty on that pushed the Comets back 15 yards. It was unsportsmanlike conduct. So some chirping going on after the last play.
Something you know.
Comets got a flag.
Definitely something you don't see every day in terms of penalties.
No, and Coach Kastner not going to be happy. You know, being the more disciplined team is something you can control, and you never want to have that happen. Brown drops it back and just overthrows Ryder in the back corner of the end zone.
Yeah, it looks like it was almost picked right there by Owen McChristian, the defensive back, who's a junior, but just steps right out of bounds. But very close call right there. This is going to bring him to 4th and goal. They're going to bring out Tibbet again, the kicker. He's 0 for 2 for field goal attempts so far.
And at kicker, it's actually Chase Blevins. He's a receiver, but he's been kind of their emergency kicker. Timmons missed the first one, and that is going to be good. Chase Blevins with the field goal, the first points of his varsity career. Special moment for him. Now the Comets back on the board. There you see Comet Black Hole very excited.
Yeah, that's something.
Replay here.
Just splits it right through the uprights, hugs the right side a little bit, but just squeezes it in to the bottom right corner. And that's something unique you see about the Comets. They try a whole bunch of different kickers. We saw Tibbets earlier. We also see Colson Bunch occasionally, the soccer player who is playing his first year of organized football, and the junior wide receiver, Chase Blevins, you know.
Yeah, and Timmons primarily has been on extra points. They will let him kick some field goals, but Blevins is a guy they feel confident with taking some of those more difficult field goals. And after Timmons missed one earlier in the game, opt to go with the junior receiver, and it's good. And now we're going to see a different kicker. You just mentioned Colson Bunch. He's been taking their kickoffs all season. And Bunch with a squib kick. And Oak Hills able to pick that one up and got some room. That's Peyton Lips, the sophomore defensive back. So we've got some scores around the league. These are the halftime scores. Fairfield leading Coleraine 24-7. So two of the better teams. Lakota West 52-0 over Sycamore. We know the Firebirds are the top team in the conference. And then Princeton 50-0 against Lakota East. So Princeton and Lakota West, fighting for that top one. What a game.
Yeah. And Oak Hills Highlanders, they're going to be facing Lakota West at Lakota West next week. So, interesting to see that matchup. But, yeah, just a dominant team.
The Comets facing Coleraine next week, and they were losing to Fairfield. So it should be a good matchup. Schreiber throws it far down the field, looking for Soupy. But a flag thrown. Looks like it's going to be pass interference on J.C. Deaton. He doesn't believe there should have been a foul. Comets not happy about the call.
It does look like they will keep the call on the field.
It's a big break for Oak Hills if the call is confirmed. So let's take this here. Schreiber facing a lot of pressure there from Malachi Reed. He heaves that ball down the field, and that was a good ball. Very accurate considering he's on the run, just a tiny bit out of reach for Suppy, but and yeah, if there hadn't been the holding from J.C. Deaton, that could have been a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it at face value, you see it as a penalty, but, you know, you talk about the season that Soup has had for Oak Hills. If J.C. Deaton maybe had a bit more lax coverage, that could have been to the house. It would have been a one-score game, possibly.
Yeah, Schreiber, he likes to go for those plays down the field, and here, he's going to run it with it himself. Get about a yard before he's brought down by Reed.
Yeah, it looks like he was swallowed up right there in Comets defense. But, you know, you talk about the run game. Just Oak Hills has not been able to start it off at all. You see these read options. You see Schreider riding the ball. None of it has really worked so far. Most of the big plays have come from Schreider's arm.
Yeah, and that's the way this Comet front seven plays. They play with physicality, intensity. They love to stuff the run. And here, a big throw. Schreiber finds his receiver, a couple nice moves. And he sets up Jacob Day. We haven't heard his name a lot today, but he's third in the GMC in passing yards. We know he's electric. And there, a couple really nice side steps after the catch. Now the ball at the 17-yard line. Oak Hills in the red zone.
Yeah, it's just wide open right there. As you can see, looks like a screen pass they're playing up, but Jacob Day just wide open. Look at those fancy moves. Oh, my goodness.
He broke the ankles of a couple Comet defenders, yeah. You know, kind of set up a screen there, and we're able to sneak Day out, get a big gain. And speaking of screen, they go to Soupy, and he's met immediately. Nick Sailors, big hit. Suppy's helmet comes off. He's going to have to miss this play.
Yeah, just D-line able to collapse early. Jackson Schreiber able to get the throw off, but just an amazing play by Sailors. Just a pounce on that, you know. It's going to be a no gain officially. It's going to be 2nd and 10 now for the Highlanders.
And Schreiber, his passing game, been successful so far this drive, and a flag right away. And it's going to be offsides on the Comets. So 5 more yards to Oak Hills.
You've had a passing interference call this drive, and now you have offsides. If you're a caster, you know, one of the things that you preach as a football coach is discipline, you know, not making the costly mistakes such as penalties. And so far this game, they've racked up quite a few.
Not only that, not only these penalties on this drive, but the drive before, they got in the red zone, and then a holding penalty pushed them way back, got them out. You know, they were inside the 5-yard line, and they had to opt for the field goal instead. Finds his running back, Parker. It's going to be 3rd and short. Yeah, the Comets. Not a lot of discipline in the second half. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Now, Comets still have the huge advantage, 13 points, but Oak Hills very much in this game, and Jackson Schreiber heating up. We've seen what he can do in the past few weeks. Led that game-winning drive against Sycamore for the win in week 2.
Yeah, we've seen it again today. Big completions to Soup and Day here.
And Schreiber keeps it himself, and he's going to fight his way forward, and he's going to get the first down. And Weston Simmons met him right around the first down marker, but Schreiber was able to push his way forward. You know, just dive for that extra yard.
Yeah.
Simmons had a nice stop, but the effort for Schreiber there gets him.
Yeah, and that was one of the first times today we saw the Oak Hills offense, you know, pay dividends in the running aspect. You know, you see a lot of read options from Schreiber, but able to get to the left side, just push through for the first down, just barely gets there. Weston Simmons just a step or two short from 4th and goal, or excuse me, 4th down.
And loaded box from the Comets. Schreiber rolls out, facing a lot of pressure. And interception. Another turnover from the Comets. What a play. Second interception on the night. Now there is an injured Highlander on the field. A big momentum swing there.
Yeah, and the Highlander that's hurt. It looks like it's Barkley.
And let's get a look at Nick Saylor's interception. Had a touchdown earlier, and here, tight coverage, just mosses the tight end. Nick Saylor's first year on defense. Get another look here. Bryce Falk got a hand in the air, and then Nick Saylors goes airborne. Comes down hard with that one.
He is just a freak on both sides of the ball. You talk about Nick Saylors. Amazing rusher, has an amazing power back end, you know, has great tackling skills, and you just saw the interception right there. You know, he can do it all. He's a big contributor. He's a big, you know, look at the Comets. A lot of their big players made up of two-way guys. You talk about Weston Simmons, Nick Saylors, Bryce Falk, you know. Just goes to show the type of athletic ability that these seniors have.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Coach Kastner has emphasized this year is defense. He says, this is the team that needs to live and die by defense. That's where they have their identity. So Nick Saylor's one of the best athletes on the team. They move him to linebacker, lean on a younger guy like Tay Hibbett at running back. And then, you know, Bryce Falk, he's playing offensive line, but he's known for his defense. They're putting all their eggs in the basket of defense, and it's paying off so far this season. Still have only given up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and you compare the offense and defensive sides for the Comets. You know, you see a lot of returning guys for the defense, and I think a lot of it has to do with experience.
And Luke Barkley. Here's the playback schedule if you want to watch this game on cable. 3 o'clock tomorrow. The afternoon, Sunday at 8 o'clock at night. Then Wednesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. on Wednesday and 10 a.m. on Thursday. Make sure to check that out. And now, Comet offense back on the field. A lot of momentum after the Nick Saylors interception. Hibbett in the backfield with Brown. Takes the snap from shotgun and hands it off to Hibbett. And pushes through. Nice gain there from the sophomore.
Once again, and just time and time again, just shows off his power right there. He's the type of guy you want him to get inside. You want him to split the defense. You know, solid 5 yards after contact right there for Tay Hibbett. And again, just so impressive as a sophomore. If you're the coaching staff, you're just so excited to see, you know, what he can become.
And Hibbett, he's been a guy they've been excited for a while. Coming back from his days in middle school, finally up at the varsity level, and he's showing out. Play action from Brown there. Looking for Greer, but a nice stop from the DB, Greg Walker. He's made a couple nice plays in coverage tonight. That'll set up a 3rd and 2. Greer had a really strong performance week 1. But today, you know, he's got over 100 yards on the season, but hasn't had as much success today. They've kind of leaned on Ryder in the receiving game and then, you know, ran the ball a lot. But Braden Greer, only a junior, and already emerged himself as a top option.
Yeah, and you got a lot of upside for Braden Greer. You know, physical ability. You know, he talks about two-way sport player with basketball and football.
And Hibbett, he takes that handoff, and he was met pretty quickly by some Highlander defenders, but able to push his way to the first down marker. So gets a 1st and 10. And now a minute left in the 3rd quarter. The Comets really gonna try to just milk the clock out.
Yeah, it's really felt like this game has gone by very quickly. You know, very long, mundane drives from both teams, just chipping away at that clock, you know.
And Brown hands it off to Hibbett. And breaks through a couple of tackles.
Yeah, it looks like Owen McChristian right there with the tackle. You know, those Highlander defense looks like it's starting to play up to the Comets' run game. 2 consecutive stops so far. Third and 5 for the. Second and 5 for the Comets now, but.
Comets really just trying to wear away at this Highlander defense. That's been the plan all game long, and now that you're deep into the second half, that's where you see the results. And time running out. This is going to be the last play of the third quarter. And Hibbett just trips and comes down. And not the play you want to end the quarter. Going to set up a 3rd and long. And we'll be back for the 4th quarter of action. Comets have the ball, lead 16-3 over the Oak Hills Highlanders.
On air or online, this is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz drive.
And now we're going to take a look at the interception on the last drive from Nick Sailors. Here, just leaps up, grabs the ball from the tight end. Big time play in the end zone from Nick Sailors.
Just absolutely mosses the Oak Hills tight end right there.
Here's some more highlights. Now, first play of the 4th quarter. He finds Jack Ryder. He gets hit hard. Now it's on 3rd and 4. And isn't able to get a foot in bounds. Ryder thought he did. See him there saying, I got a foot in, but they're going to have to send out the punt unit.
Yeah, this Comets offense is starting to stutter out a little bit. You saw 13 points in the first half, but so far in the second half, only seen 3. Disappear. They're starting to, the wheels starting to fall off the bus a little bit.
And back to punt is going to be, it's not Bryce Falk this time who's been the punter throughout the season. And that's a nice punt. Getting a lot of backspin all the way to the 8-yard line.
That might be the best punt I've seen all year from the Comets. You know, you've got, it's a lot like the kicker situation where you have multiple guys trying out being a punter, but just a phenomenal punt within the 10-yard line for the Highlanders.
And Sean Krukenberg, the safety, normally he's, you know, a punt returner, and there, tries his hand at a punt.
Yeah, does it all for
Nice
special
one.
teams.
And yeah, last year Michael Molnar was an all-state punter. Also played quarterback, receiver, safety. He was kind of a do-it-all player for the Comets, but you know that might have been one of their most underrated losses in special. You know, having a punter like that. But they've been able to supplant that pretty well this season. Now Schreiber backed up deep into his own territory. He's going to hand it off, and a nice run from Parker. He's going to be close to the first down.
Yeah, and you go back to Michael Molnar from last year. He was the star quarterback for the Comets for most of the year, but he did split some time with Larson Brown. Committed to the University of Ohio, but, you know, as a tight end, which is kind of surprising considering, you know, but I think they just wanted him there just because he has so much athleticism.
Yep.
And he's
Michael Molnar's position last year was athlete.
Yeah,
As the coach called him, you know, they weren't going to define him as a receiver or a safety. And now Schreiber facing a lot of pressure. Malachi Reed right there. Caden Davis knocks down Schreiber, and he's still able to deliver an accurate pass to Suppy. What a throw. But Sean Krukenberg,
it does look like
breaks
it's
it up in
out
Suppy.
of bounds.
Big hit.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal play by Schreiber. We've seen him escape the pocket a lot tonight, as there is a Highlander hurt on the field.
Suppy, he's been their best receiver tonight. The go-to guy.
Yeah, and going back to Michael Molnar, you know, he's just one of those guys you can plug and play him at any position you want. And I think that's why, one of the big reasons why he committed to a D1 school. You know, Ohio saw a lot of potential in him, potentially a lot of positions.
And here's the throw from Schreiber on the run, and then gets drilled by Caden Davis, and still able to find Soupy. Yeah, but just they say that Soupy wasn't able to get his feet in bounds. That was a heck of a throw, and then Soupy even able to being able to catch that with all the contact he got. But taking a look at this throw.
Take a look at the hit
look
here.
At the catch. And you know what? It looks like he got his feet down. Did he hold on to possession? Looks like it may have popped out.
Very close
Took
play.
a big hit.
Yeah, very close play right there. But Soup's still on the field. I think the injured Highlander might be Jacob Day. That'd be a tough blow for the Highlander offense. Or excuse me, it's not Jacob Day.
The Comets trying to regroup here ahead of a crucial 3rd and 2. You know, only about 11 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Time running out for Oak Hills. Down by 2 scores.
If you're the Comets here, it's a very crucial stop. Because if you're the Highlanders, you know, you haven't had a whole lot of offense, been able to produce this whole game. You only got 10 minutes on the fourth quarter. You get the stop here. Comets start running the football. Starts to look pretty bleak for the Highlanders, you know.
And play will resume after the injury. So Schreiber heading back on the field. He'll be without one of his top targets. And this Comets stand's getting very loud. 3rd and 2 at the Oak Hills 17-yard line. Schreiber drops back to pass. He heaves it down the field, looking for Jacob Day, and just barely overthrows him. That would have been 6 if they were able to connect. Now, 4th and 2. Gonna force Oak Hills to punt.
Yeah, Schreiber right there shows off his arm strength. You know, still under pressure, just airs it out deep, and that was a pretty accurate pass. You know, you don't see a whole lot of high school quarterbacks that can pull it off like that consistently. You know, and if that connected, then there was a very good chance it could have been a 1-score game, and Highlanders would have been right back in it.
Day has a lot of speed. They've already found him once on a big play, and there nearly had another. And Krukenberg with the punt return. He punted last time, and then with the punt return there, and he had a nice block that helps him get some yardage. So the Comets will have the ball just across midfield. And up 13 points. Right now, they're going to be a little more conservative. All about keeping possession, playing clean football.
Yeah, you're probably going to see a lot more of this 3-headed monster, you know. We've seen a lot of Sailors inhibit, but you might see some Simmons action, and we might see Bates here and there, you know. Just try to mix up the run game a little bit, keep Highlanders guessing, because at this point, this late in the game, you just want to ride off the game to the sunset, running the football.
And Larson Brown under center. It's going to be a flea flicker. Nice trick play. Going for Greer. A lot of contact in the secondary, but overthrows Greer. So going for the trick play there. Nearly had something.
Yeah, it also looks blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Larson Brown under pressure, just had to heave it out of there before he got hit, but Interesting play call as we get a look right here. Flea Flicker right back to him. He just airs it out. Bit overthrown right there from Braden Greer.
And didn't have as much room to throw, like you mentioned, Braden. Nick Sailors, after throwing that ball, the pass back to Brown, missed his assignment there. The rusher coming off the edge, so Brown had to get the ball out quick.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough play for Sailors.
Really hard to get the ball, throw it back, and block.
Get the
ball.
ball.
That short of a period, but now Brown on shotgun, going to pass again, and he finds Braden Greer, and a spin move there, up across the 40-yard line. Going to be 3rd and short now, and an injured Oak Hills player. Comet sideline, calling for the trainers.
Yeah, it's a second injury for the Highlanders tonight. I do believe it is.
Yeah.
Severe, he's still on the ground, it looks like.
Some good injury news, though, for Oak Hills. Luke Barkley, who went down after that Nick Sailors interception in the end zone. Was out for a little bit, but he's back in the game now, the tight end and linebacker. So he's healthy. Which is good news, but now got another player injured, just unfortunate. 3 injuries for Oak Hills in the second half. And now Larson Brown, gonna be 3rd and 3 here, trying to get his offense collected together.
And it does look like the hurt Highlanders, R.J. Miller, the senior linebacker, has contributed a lot this game. It's been a key factor so far for this defense, Highlander defense.
And again, ICRC-TV, full of volunteers. That's how the operation gets run. Braden and I, we're high school students, but we have a lot of people behind the camera as well that are the reason that this is going on. We've got some high schoolers operating cameras, which is always awesome, and then our great crew back in the truck. And ICRC needs you, some volunteers, so reach out if you're interested in that.
Yeah, don't need a whole lot of experience. And it's a fun time being able to operate in a big production like this,
Absolutely.
Friday night lights.
No experience necessary, Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah, coming out would be a great time.
I remember my first time ever with ICRC, I was doing a camera for a playoff boys basketball game, and it was a blast. Never done it before, but you learn pretty quickly. And Brown takes the snap and goes for Ryder. Pass not accurate, so it's going to be 4th and 3 now.
Yeah, quick
39.
option. Quick option there again. A few times we've seen it not work for the Comets, but
here Brown.
You take the look, just a bit too much. Looks like the wide receiver right there does appear fell back a little bit, a bit off balance.
Yeah, and Brown, he had put a lot of velocity on that ball, and Jack Ryder just hadn't planted his foot yet, wasn't able to come onto the ball, but they're going to stay out there for 4th down at the 39. This is 4-down territory. Tay Hibbett in the backfield. They're trying to get a Highlander to jump off sides, and Larson Brown going to call a timeout. And right there, it's a pretty common move. Try to force a mistake from the defense and get the 1st down, and now they're going to regroup, most likely to punt.
Yeah, we are in Highlander territory right now at their 39-yard line, but you talk about the punt that Sean Krukenberg just had. If he does that again, he can be able to place it in the 1, and that'd be phenomenal for the Comets defense. Be able to make a comeback for the Highlanders a lot harder.
Absolutely, yeah. And the Comet offense, a little disappointed in that drive as they trot out the special teams unit. But 10 minutes, so this game flew by the first 3 quarters, and these last 2 minutes, the start of the 4th quarter, they felt about as long as the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, it's just been a flurry of timeouts and injuries so far. It's been a very fast quarter, 1 through 3, just
Pair of safeties here running special teams unit. Weston Simmons, the long snapper. Sean Krukenberg, the safety. And he's running with it. It's a fake. And he first down, Sean Krukenberg. You know, unexpected call there. Oak Hills was not ready. And Krukenberg.
We take a look. Sean Krukenberg does take a long windup for his punch, but open field left side just takes advantage. And just amazing. I'll give them credit. Amazing call for the special teams right there. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, and Krukenberg having a fun day. Made some plays on defense. Punted, had a really good punt, and into the 10-yard, back in Oak Hills up behind their 10-yard line, and then there converting on a fake punt. Now Larson Brown hands it off to Hibbett, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage. Brought down by Cooper Harrison, the defensive lineman.
Yeah, the sophomore D lineman coming at 6 foot 175. You know, great play right there. And again, we've seen a couple of sophomores be able to contribute so far this game, from Hibbett to Cooper Harrison for Oak Hills. You know, it's very exciting to see these young players. And we'll probably hear their names associated with the programs in years to come.
There we see the Mason Black Hole, their student section, having a blackout for their home opener. And they're, as of right now, it's looking like they're going to get to watch a win. A lot of time left.
Yeah, it ain't over until it's over.
Mason has a 2-touchdown lead. Ball pretty deep into the Highlander territory. And a penalty. Going to make it a first down. Now in the red zone.
First and 10 at the Highlander 14 now. The shot behind centers Brown.
Brown again hands it off to Hibbett, and that's a touchdown. Found the hole and just bursted right through for the big touchdown. Tay Hibbett, his second one of the night, the sophomore. He's been dynamic all day. Oak Hills just had no answer for the Comet rushing attack.
Yeah, Tay Hibbett right there. Just gonna get this replay right here for you. Just amazing show of strength right there. Just barrels over the Oak Hills DB and just dives in for the end zone. It's just been a phenomenal game so far.
And Bryce Falk, Dominic Bomarito on the interior offensive line, just created a gaping hole there. And
yeah, the big
guy Hibbett did the rest.
Yeah, the big guys up front, they've had a phenomenal game.
And Timmets, the extra point is good. Extends the lead to 20. 9 minutes, 30 seconds left for Oak Hills.
Yeah, and the Comets able to extend their lead to almost 3 scores here. And you're starting to feel like the game might be over. You know, they say it isn't over till it's over, but, with the way this Oak Hills offense has not been producing, it's kind of in the bag, you feel like.
Yeah, a lot of time left. 3-score game right now. Mason fully in control, and if their defense continues to play the way they've been playing, they will have this one locked up. And the Comet defense, you can make a real argument that they've been at the top of the GMC now. Lakota West defense,
okay, yes.
Their defense is incredible. 3 Power 5, the big-time recruits just in their secondary alone. But Mason's defense right now, statistically, they've been as good as anyone in the conference, and they're going to keep them competitive in these games.
Definitely top 3. I mean, I don't know if everybody here saw the scores, but Princeton and Lakota West were both had 50-point shutouts.
Shutouts, yeah. Those two teams are just loaded with talent. Lakota West especially. They opened up their season with a big-time win over St. Xavier. And they have a lot of momentum. Had a huge win over their rival against Lakota East last week. And then
Jacob Day right there with a nice return brings it up to the 30. But, back to this Comet defense.
And we've got some more
score
updates here. We were just talking about it. Hamilton and Middletown. The Comets played Hamilton last week. Hamilton leads 14-0. So the Big Blue off to a good start. Kind of rebounding, and we mentioned Lakota West, Princeton. Those games were wrapped up very quickly.
Yeah, by the halftime.
They had running clocks going. We were in the third quarter, and those games were done It shows you how talented those rosters are.
Yeah. You know, I'll give credit to the Comets defense. They've been pretty good.
And Jacob Day takes that pass, uses his speed, and he's going to get pretty close to the first down marker.
Yeah, but I'd give the Comets a respectful bronze in the GMC in terms of defense. I mean, you know, every single game they've played it low. I think they haven't let up double-digit points yet this season.
No, 1 touchdown week 1. It's Gahanna Lincoln, and you know they lost that game, but it was due to a safety that was the difference maker there.
Yeah.
And then last week, 1 touchdown to Hamilton. But another team with a really good defense, Coleraine, and that's what the Comets play next week at Coleraine. So that'll be a really fun matchup to watch. As Schreiber facing so much pressure and just gets that ball out, avoids the sack. That pocket collapsed immediately. This Comet defensive line has been creating pressure all night long.
Schreiber with a pro football move right there. You know, doesn't try to escape the pocket or make a play out of it, but plays it safe, just throws it out of bounds, you know. And that's something as we get more scores here. Fairfield up 34-7 against Coleraine.
So maybe that Coleraine defense not as strong as in years past, but Fairfield, a really impressive showing over a good Cardinals team.
Yeah, it looks like that'll bring Colerane's score to 0-3 on the season. So the Comets might get a cookie game when they see the
Coleraine. The Comets have not beat Coleraine in a long time, but they're definitely poised to potentially do so this year. They've had some close ones the past few years. As Schreiber upset with himself after not converting on that 3rd down play. We saw Fairfield 34-7. Comets lost to them twice last year, including in the playoffs, ended their season. That's a game we want to watch. But Schreiber is down on the field, so it wasn't just frustration. This is not good.
It does look like an injury. And if so, we'll take a replay on display. Schreiber gets hit by the Comets. It looks like it was the linebacker, I do believe.
Tyler Dalton, the junior linebacker, hit him from behind just as he was able to get that ball out. And Jackson Schreiber's had a great game, great start to his season. Made a lot of plays with his arm and his legs, but
it does
facing pressure all night.
It does appear he's walking out the field, but that would be an absolute killer if they did.
They need him for the rest of this season. Oak Hills already off to their best start in years. They want to win. They're not going to be content with just 2 wins.
Yeah, you'd hate to see it, you know.
So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if they trot him out for the rest of the night. This Comets defensive line, you've got to give them props for how well they've played. You see there, Liam McMains, Bryce Falk, Caden Davis, Aaron Spears, and then the linebacker, Kai Wolflook there. All of them played really well. Jake Bates, the 21. And then Sean Krukenberg, who converted on that fake punt and set up the last touchdown.
A lot of guys, a couple guys on the Comets offense getting D1 looks here. Has a potential to go play for the highest level in college. You know, one of them being Bates. Bit undersized for a linebacker, but you know, he just plays with so much hard. He hits very hard. You know, hence the name Hammer.
Yeah, and Oak Hill's going to call timeout. And Jake Bates, he's one of the best high school football players I've seen in a long time. And his biggest issue, and he might consider it part of it as strength. You know, he plays with the chip on his shoulder, but is his size. He just doesn't have the stature that teams are looking for. But I tell you what, you compare his play on the field, the heart that he shows, it stacks up against anybody. And then Bryce Falk has some offers. Caden Davis has some serious offers. You know, Navy being the highlight, but a lot of Ivy League offers. And then Ben Fosnot, the tight end. Yeah. And here, we're going to have a shout-out executive producer Jason Dudley. Producers Dean Lowry and Michael Asher. Director Michael Asher. And then, obviously, Andrew Little, Braden Wells calling it. Our camera operators, Josie Lorenz and Alyssa Feinblatt. I mean, we could not do it without this behind-the-scenes crew. Trey Capo as well. Eric Johan. It really takes a village. And then our replay producer.
Yeah, you only get to hear us on the call, but you know, there's so much behind-the-scene work that gets unappreciated. So we just want to give a quick shout out to those guys. You know, and again, you know, if you want to volunteer, you could be mentioned in the game and be a part of this production. And we also want to give a shout out for everybody watching this game. You know, thanks for tuning in to ICRC-TV. You know, it means a lot to us personally, from the announcers, everybody working here tonight. It means a lot.
And I've got just one more shout out for our sports radio team, Braden Johansson, a freshman, making his debut tonight, running the Twitter for us. That's always important.
Yeah, and if you're a Mason High Schooler watching the game right now, well, probably not, since you're probably in the black hole.
If you're not in the stands, you're watching this game.
You know, we'd love to have you on Mason Sports Radio as well.
Now 2nd and 10, 8 minutes left to go in this fourth quarter.
Does appear we have a new quarterback in the game, Brandon Stidham, the 6'2", 190, or excuse me, not Brandon Stidham. Shriver's back in the game.
Yeah, so he just needed one play, and then he's back in. Schreiber playing with a lot of toughness. He finds Parker. Gets all the way up the midfield for the first down.
Yeah, DeMar Parker. It's forced out of bounds, but not before delivering a big hit. You know, you see the stature of him, 6 foot, 180 pounds as a junior. Very muscular guy, proves it right there. So he tosses a Comet into their own sideline. And 3rd and 5 here. This is a critical play here for the Highlanders. Might be one of their last chances to try to get a score on the board.
Yeah, but this Comets defense, they do everything in their power to stop it. But if Schreiber drops back to pass, facing a lot of pass rush, and he's hit, but he evades the sack. He's going all the way down to the 35. What a gain from Jackson Schreiber, evading pressure and not just getting the first down. But another 10 yards. We'll see the replay here.
Replay right here.
Bryce Falk nearly brought him down, but Schreiber fends off the tackle and uses his speed to get out of bounds at the 35. Really impressive play, especially for a player who was injured just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it's good for him to see up and running again, but I mean, Jackson Schreiber just shows off the athleticism right there. One of the better quarterbacks in GMC.
Schreiber facing more pressure, evades it again, and just throws it. And he finds a target. So that, more of a throwaway situation, but a good decision there. Finds Nathan Fulton, the tight end, his big target.
Yeah, and Schreiber tonight, just almost every play, we've rarely seen him take a hit for a loss or sacks. Kind of reminds me of Russell Wilson, just able to escape the pocket, able to improvise, try to make something out of nothing,
Yeah. And Russell Wilson, during his time on the Seahawks, dealt with a lot of pressure, playing in the NFC West. 49ers, Rams always have great pass rushes.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the Comets played tonight.
Yeah,
great pass rush. The GMC has a lot of great pass rushers.
GMC, one of the harder conferences playing, like NFC West, but he, despite the 2 picks tonight, he still played pretty well.
He's doing everything he can to keep this team in the game. And Caden Davis, Aaron Spears, and Spears forces a fumble, but a Highlander will fall down.
There is a
flag thrown on the play.
Looked like a pancake block from the senior Trevor King, coming in at 6'3", 290, but there may have been a holding call on the field. We'll see. Either way, they're moving back.
Yeah, Oak Hills starting to move back there. Yeah, moving a little back, although with that fumble, you're not going to lose as much yardage as you normally would from a penalty like that, as you already were backed up. And Bryce Falk providing pressure all night. And then also playing on the offensive line, creating those gaps for Tay Hibbett and Nick Sailors to run 3 rushing touchdowns for the Comets. And the referee's going to pick up the flag.
Yeah, it looks like he might take the call back. They are talking about it. Looks like maybe a face mask. It looks like he motioned a face mask, but could be wrong.
Yeah, now they're pushing the Comets back, so appeared to be some confusion at first on the field. But now Comets moving back, and a real opportunity here for Oak Hills to get their first touchdown of the night.
Yeah, probably their first real opportunity realistically in the second half. We haven't seen them approach the red zone since the first and second quarter. But now, you got Schreiber back in the game. Shotgun formation here. You got a solid chance at scoring here. Let's see if the Highlanders can put something up here.
Parker in motion, and Schreiber facing pressure, somehow evades it. He's a magician in the pocket, and he throws it Another flag on the field, isn't able to find Parker.
Yeah, and for Jackson Shriver, it's just been a very long game between that injury and just having to invade the pocket. You know, that ice bath tonight's going to feel real good.
Oh, yeah. Just about to say that.
Yeah.
He needs a nice dip in the ice bath.
He needs a solid break, you know.
And a holding call here.
Yeah, he's done everything in his power to keep the Highlanders offense somewhat running, but, you know, not a whole lot of results here.
And Schreiber, an athlete that we haven't seen, you know, in the past few years come out of Oak Hills, but he really has been one of the premier players in the GMC so far.
Yeah. You know, something about this game is kind of interesting, you know. Gone pretty quickly, first 2 3/4, and then this past like 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, just very, very slow. Between the penalties, the injuries, you know. Schreiber's going to step back under pressure again and almost gets sacked. He's going to roll out to his left, almost gets sacked again. Schreiber under pressure, he's going to throw it
finally
out
just
of bounds.
Throws it away.
Finally.
Yeah. Unbelievable effort from Schreiber. All night, he's just been running for his life. And rarely has he been sacked. You know, that's a credit to him.
Yeah, I know. He knows when to throw the ball away like he did there, but boy, if he got sacked, that would have been
a big-time loss.
It's already 2nd and 26 on their 30-yard line. That could have been like a 2nd and 40 or something.
They would have been really backed up, but now. And then narrowly avoid the disaster there.
Schreiber to shotgun. He's going to step back. He's going to throw a little route to his running back. It's Parker again. He's going to dig it out for a solid gain. He's going to bring a 3rd down and around 20 yards, it looks like.
Yeah, still 3rd and very long, but Parker making it a little bit more manageable. And this is 4-down territory. You're down by 20 points. You know, under 7 minutes on the clock.
Yeah,
you're going for touchdowns.
Yeah, at this point, just, you know, you gotta get something going. You're hanging on by a thread, and you need a miracle here if you're the Highlanders. But it's still feasible. It just starts with one play. That's all I need.
Yep. Schreiber and Parker in the backfield. Schreiber going to take the snap. Drops back to pass, facing a lot of pressure. He evades it again and can't connect.
Tough throw
with his
on the
target,
run.
Justin Kesson.
Yeah, tough throw on the run right there. You know, first target we've seen from Kesson, but I mean, you know, very hard play right there for Schreiber. He just has not been able to have a break all night. You know, a lot of the problems from this Oak Hills offense has been the yellow line just haven't been able. And we show you the Comets showing out here tonight. Starting to thin out a little bit as we're starting to get deep into this game, but you know, still impressive showing for a home opener.
Schreiber drops back to pass, and Spears nearly gets him. Schreiber gonna run for the 1st down and more. He's up past the 10-yard line.
Takes a big hit. Yeah, it doesn't look like he'll get it though, but you know, again, standing effort. Almost got the 1st down, only 5 yards short. You're gonna take a replay. Just Spears almost had him there, but you know, just able to break through, tackle made.
Now, Schreiber, you got to give some applause to his efforts tonight. But now the Comets going to take over at their own 7-yard line, so a long way to go, but less than 6 minutes. If they can just run the clock out and just keep getting 1st downs the way they were doing in the 1st half, this game will be over pretty quickly.
Yeah, Comets tie formation here. Looks like they're just going to keep pounding the clock out, you know.
Yep. Handed off to Hibbett. Had a lead block from Kaler, but only able to get about 2 yards there.
As we take a look for next week's competition for both teams, after Highlanders play at, after we finish up their road matchup here at Mason, they're going to take on Lakota West, who's nationally ranked within the top 50, a very tough opponent. You know, back-to-back very tough games for the Highlanders, and after which, on September 16th, they're going to play home against Fairfield, first home matchup since Turpin. And for the Comets, they're going to have an away matchup at Coleraine, who has yet to win a game this season. And
when's the last time people can say that, this deep into the season? Coleraine, winless.
I know, they've had there's a solid stretch between like 2014 and 2019. They were like back-to-back.
Not just that, going back deep into the 2000s, even when they had Kerry Combs at head coach, who's now coaching for UC. He's coached at Ohio State.
He's coached at
Tennessee Titans. Braden, you're a Tennessee Titans fan. He's been all over. He started that Coleraine dynasty.
Yeah, he did a phenomenal job at Tennessee, with the Titans.
And we do have an update from the Fairfield-Coleraine game. Fairfield wins that one 34-7.
Yeah, but
and a final from Lakota East. Princeton 71, Lakota East nothing. Crazy performance from the Viking offense.
Yeah, we might have found our new Oak Hills for the season.
Yeah, and this Oak Hills team, they have a really tough schedule. They had kind of an easier start playing Turpin, who's a Division II team, and they were able to get a nice win, build some momentum. Knocked off Sycamore, a rival last week, then Mason, who has been a tough match, but next week, Lakota West, Fairfield, Coleraine, and then Princeton. That is a murderer's row in the next few weeks.
Yeah, and you look at the Comets, they have definitely more of an easier stretch. They're going to play out Coleraine, 0-3, Middletown, one of the weaker teams in GMC, and an 0-3 in Lakota East, And this could be a great transfer, Brian Castner of the Comets, to start a big winning streak here.
Absolutely. Not only the Comets, and Hibbett gets the first down there, a nice run. The Comets slowly moving the chains on this drive, up past the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
Again, there's one of our great camera operators getting some awesome shots on the field. That's Trey Capo, and we'd love to have more volunteers like Trey.
Yeah, once again, no experience needed. You could just volunteer first day on the job. You could be Trey, right here filming this.
Yeah, Trey getting to go on the field, film the game. It'd be a cool experience.
Yeah.
For any of you out there watching.
Yeah, and back to the Coleraine football, you think GMC sports. First thing comes to mind.
Coleraine football.
Coleraine football, yeah, they've just been so dominant. It just feels so off to see them, start 0-3.
Well, Lakota West, they have Coleraine's old coach, Tom Bolden, and they've really picked that up. Tay Hibbett's having a great drive there. Another big gain. He's really good. They're very, very excited with the way he's played today. 2 touchdowns, and I don't have the stats, but he's, probably upwards of between 50 and 800 yards, and he's having a great night.
Being a Titans fan myself, see a little bit of Derrick Henry in there. Obviously not as big as he is, but
Hey, he's young. He's got some time to grow.
He's got some time to grow.
He could get there.
He can get there definitely, but he's just one of the best. This is one of the best showings of a power back we've seen in a while.
Yeah, to see a sophomore come in and just immediately be a staple of this offense. Fumbled snap there. Brown able to pick it up, hands it off to Weston Simmons, and not able, barely able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And now, just heading under 3 minutes left in this game. Exactly what the Comets wanted on this drive.
Yeah, a bit of a muffed opportunity right there. It's one of the first few times this drive has seen a Comets run game. Stop short, but hey, clock's running, the game's starting to go by faster.
Clock's still running. And the Comets, they really did. They wore out this Oak Hills defense. The offensive line played well, and then their running backs there. Now it's Nick Sailors. It's a decent game.
Yeah, you got to give
still Simmons with the carry.
Yeah, you got to give credit to this Comet coaching staff. Showed almost no weakness on all sides of the ball, except you can make a case for penalties. But offensively, you've played really efficient. A lot of quick passes. Used it a lot to get the third downs. The running game was spot on, very reliable. With that new improved D-line. O-line. And then the D-line, your front lines for the defense was just impeccable. It was amazing. Some of the best we've seen this season.
And definitely some areas for improvement. That in the short yardage situations, they've struggled a bit. They've had some penalties.
Yeah.
But overall, really solid performance you got to be proud of your Coach Kastner and crew. This was never going to be a game where Mason was going to go out and put up, 71 points like Princeton did.
Yeah.
And maybe looking at the stats, say, well, why is Mason only up by 20? Their game plan was to come in here, pound the rock, and slow the pace of the game down and make it a low-scoring game, which is where their defense gets put in a really good situation.
Yeah, I'm still kind of shocked about the Lakota East game, to be honest. I mean, I have never the 70-point blowout is unheard of.
Princeton and Lakota West will be a must-see matchup.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think the Comets will necessarily beat them. We're gonna have an interesting, as you can see, the Comets student section waving goodbye to the, Highlanders.
They punt it
section.
away.
It's gonna be a fair catch here. An amazing punt.
Another really good punt, yeah.
Yeah, I got some backspin on that one. That was not fortunate to the end zone. That's gonna bring it within the 10. And if you're Oak Hills, what do you think you do here? Do you think you just run out the clock, just try to get out of here as quick as possible? Got a long drive home, or you try to get new guys in, just get some younger guys have a chance to play at a varsity level.
Well, Oak Hills, they want to have some pride. They're only down by 20. They can make this a 2-score game that looks a lot better. And you've got a really tough stretch coming up. We just mentioned, get some momentum. We've seen them come away with some big plays. In this game, you don't want to get your guys hurt. We've already seen Schreiber face a lot of pressure.
We've seen a pass here or there,
And then they will be back here.
And there's that Mason student section getting to watch a home opening victory.
Yeah.
The home games for the Comets this year, very winnable ones at Middletown in 2 weeks. Middletown hosting Middletown in 2 weeks, and then Sycamore in October for the homecoming game, and then Fairfield the week after for senior night. So those are 4 games they can win.
Schreiber running again. He's gonna throw it to the right, and it's gonna be out of bounds. Intended for Jacob Day.
Jackson Schreiber's pass was intended for Jacob Day.
And Schreiber tried to do something there.
Second down and 10.
Every play, where he faces pressure from this Comets D-line, he's able to get outside the pocket and tries to find a receiver right there, not able to connect. And a minute 20 left in this game.
Just trying to wrap this game up. As you can see that both sides of the stands trying to file out, head to the parking lot, beat the game day traffic. Shotgun formation for Schreiber. Bad snap, he's gonna drop back, and Jacob Day drops the pass.
And Day, their speedy receiver, he's a yards after catch threat, but they're not able to catch it. That was a real missed opportunity.
A little bit hard to rack up those RECs if you don't catch the ball, but it's just, I think as an offense, it's just been a rough day for the Highlanders. You just need to step back, regroup, see what went wrong, just hit it hard at practice, kind of just forget, about this game. But there were some goods. We saw some goods from both sides of the ball, We had a couple good plays, but Jackson Schreiber is probably the biggest star of this Highlander offense.
And not going to convert it on this 3rd down.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to run out the clock here.
The Comets, we talked about Oak Hills getting some momentum for the next few weeks. The Comets finishing off their last defensive drive with a 3-and-out. Not giving up a touchdown tonight.
Yeah, you're
what
on
a performance in front of the home fans.
Yeah, you're on the roll right now if you're the Comets. Coming off a 3-score win last week. Another dominant win for the Comets. Just didn't really show any signs of fatigue or any signs of, letting Oak Hills win. Just it's been a really good start. One of the best starts we've seen in years for this Mason football team. And it looks
Week 1, really tough game against Gahanna, so.
Yeah, Gahanna Lincoln. Interesting. There's a flag on the field, but you talk about Gahanna Lincoln, a bit of a road trip. Almost 2 hours to get all the way up to Columbus, but
we made that trip.
Yeah.
I was calling it with my brother. You were directing.
Yeah, it was a bit of a haul to get there, but tough matchup for sure. You talk about not something you talk about much, but like the effect of travel on the players. You don't really talk about much at the high school level, but
And last year when those two teams played, Gahanna, traveled to Mason. Mason was the one that came away with the win, which if you look at the way their seasons ended, might be a little bit of surprise. So the travel factor definitely plays in effect.
Yeah,
you don't have as many. Even looking on the visiting sideline, you don't have as many fans when it's a 2-hour drive. Whereas, you know, Oak Hills, 30-40 minutes away, they still had a nice showing for their
I'll speak with honesty. You know, I think a Hunter-Lincoln game was a bit sparse, you know, but I don't blame people for not wanting to make the 2-hour drive to get there. But no,
but they showed up tonight for the home opener.
Yeah, they definitely did, you know, and I'm excited. I'm honestly excited about, you know, the black hole in the student section and see what they can come with.
Only 4 home games for the Comets, but so they're going to need energy in all of them. And now the best formation in football, the victory formation. It's Larson Brown going to take a knee, finish off this game.
It's going to wrap it up. Final here, Mason Comets, 23-3 against the Oak Hills Highlanders at Dwire Field. I'm Brendan Wass.
And now the Comets, dominant defensive performance for the, so still only 2 touchdowns given up on the season. Home opener, a lot of fans in the crowd. Got to see a big-time win and a major momentum builder heading into next week at Coleraine, then back home versus Middletown. Oak Hills, first loss of the year, but still had a good performance, especially from their quarterback, Jackson Schreiber.
Yeah, as they're going to take on a really tough opponent, probably toughest all year at Lakota West. You know, tough matchup, but hey, you know what? Maybe they're able to pull something off at Firebird Stadium.
Yeah, and Sycamore 59-7 lost today to the Firebirds, but so the bar's been set for what Oak Hills needs to do, and yeah. We saw, I mean, we talk about the Comets' rushing attack. Tay Hibbett, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Nick Sailors had a touchdown, also an interception on defense.
You know, a bunch of two-way guys. You know, Nick Sailors was phenomenal. Sean Krukenberg, great punt. Great job on the defensive back. All right, I'm Brandon Watts, joined by Andrew Little. We want to thank you again joining us here at ICRC-TV. If you want to join us, we're always open for volunteers. Thanks again for watching.
Cleaning up your area, please bring it to the press box. We also have